Hey guys, Joseph Allen from Joseph Allen Music here. Today we're going to do another guitar lesson, week 4, super excited, and we're going to be dealing with more fingerstyle. So let's kind of get started as we get going through this process. And I've been baling hay all week, so if I sound a little stuffy, that's why, doing man's work, right? All right, so let's dive into this and get started. If you already haven't downloaded, ouch, I hit my head on this, my ebook, you can get a free copy of my ebook in the comments below. Just click on that link, Instagram in the bio, or wherever you are watching this, comments below. Check it out. It's super cool. Got some great stuff in there. It's not going to be free forever, but please go take that look and take advantage of that. So go and grab that. Today, let's get started straight into it. So fingerstyle, right? Let's start with our. Let's go ahead and start. Yeah. Okay. Let's recap. If I can get my words out. We did what was called the toada, which was in 4/4, right? Your thumb playing the root note, whichever chord that is, and then your I on the G string, your M on the B string, and then your A on the high E string as I translate all that stuff in my head. I, M, A. P, I, M, A. We learned that before, okay? So we're going to learn something that basically, if you know this, you already pretty much know how to play it. You're just changing the time signature, meaning how many beats we're going to measure, and play it in 3/4, right? Because 4/4, if you don't know what that means, that's totally okay. 4/4 just meaning there are 4 beats in every measure. So when I play a chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in 3/4, meaning there are 3 beats in a measure. 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to dive into this, and we're going to play. Let's think about. We're going to go to a C chord. Okay. So you've already been here. If you've been doing lessons with me, you know what a C chord is. If you don't, let's recap just a little bit. Put in your 3rd finger on the 5th string, the A string, on the 3rd fret. Then putting your 2nd finger on the D string, 2nd fret. Then putting your 1st finger on the B string, on the B string, on the 1st fret of the B string, yes. 2nd string. And then please keep in mind, good technique, keep your fingers in the center of the sound hole. If you see me moving around, it's just because I'm trying to work with the camera angle, but straight in the center of the sound hole, you're going to get the fullest sound. You play a little lower, quite as full, play a little higher. You have a pair of speakers, you're going to be able to hear the difference. On a phone, you're not going to really hear it. Speakers, more headphones, really, higher end, you're going to be able to hear the difference of that. Play on your guitar, I promise you hear a difference. And there's times to play up here, there's times to play down here. But standard position is just straight up the center. So, as we play this and we look at this C chord, we're going to be playing the same thing. The same thing as if I can speak English, same thing as the toada or the tostada, Mexican food. Helps you remember a little bit better, right? So, same thing. We're just going to be changing and playing in 3/4 time, 3 beats. Because typically, Silent Night we played last week, we technically played that in 3/4. We played the balada, which is really great, really in more of a kind of having that 6/8 feel, kind of ish, 6/8 feel, 6 beats in a measure, and then or 3/4, just playing a little bit faster. But we're going to learn something that really caters to that 3/4. You might hear it a lot on songs like "How He Loves," when you do stuff like that, right? When you do cool stuff like that. Now, when we play this kind of music, that's the kind of rhythm we're going to be going for. So it applies in so much stuff. and it works fantastic. So I'm going to teach you kind of how to play that song, because it's a whole different, when you're playing fingerstyle, you're strumming, that's one rhythm that's just different than all the rest. So let's look at how to kind of apply our toada to that rhythm. So we've got 4 notes. We're playing it in 3/4 time. What you have to think about it is like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and when you play it like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and up to speed. Oh, I'm playing the wrong chord. C chord, sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and P and I M A and P and I M A and right? It's 1 and 2 and 3 and let's try that. And remember, as we're playing, beginner or experienced, whatever your skill level is, as we keep going, it's going to get harder. Learn this fingerstyle, because this is going to be taken and we're going to make it even harder as we keep going. So keep up and don't just chill out. Take advantage of this, because this is what we're going to take and make it even more complex. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and now what we're going to be, that's kind of the main idea. And so let's kind of take it up a little bit faster. You got it. Come on. I believe in you. Did it play so good the first time. All right, let's give this a shot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 fantastic. The speed you're wanting to build it up to is going to be this fast. Right? Cool stuff. Now we're going to, as we've taken that, let's vamp it up a little bit, and we're going to be learning some chords along the way. So if you don't know these, you can also look at all of them in my ebook. We're going to be, find them on the chords page, the chords section, and we're going to be looking at, I'm going to say, if we're going to learn this, we're going to be learning C, which you already know, the G chord, which you already know if you've been playing along. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, G chord, maybe in a little bit different position. We'll explain why in a second. But the G chord, straight up. A minor, which that's a new one, and then F. So hey, we're picking up a little bit. As my phone is trying to die, let me plug this in really quick. I don't want it to die, because then the live stream goes away. That wouldn't be good. So we do the F, right? The dreaded bar chord F. Oh my. Look at that sucker. And we'll walk through that in a second. But let's start with we have the C. We already know the C. And if you've been watching the lessons, we already know the G. If you don't, go back and watch those, or look at the chord chart in the book, and we'll keep this moving along. Now, the G I want to make mention of, because the G we learned like this, with our second finger, right? And then our first finger, and then our second, first, and third finger. We're going to kind of flip that. Second, first, third. We're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to put our third finger on the top string, on the third fret, our second finger on the A string, second fret, and then our pinky on the high E string on the third fret. And I'll tell you why in a second, because we're going to play around with the little exercise here in just a little bit. So, and then we're going to get to the A minor. Okay, we haven't learned to play an A minor. So an A minor is basically putting we take our first finger on the B string, first fret, then we're going to take our third finger, on the G, third finger on the G string, second fret, and then we're going to take our second finger right there on the D string, second fret, and we're going to play 5 strings down. So, and then we're going to make our way over to the F. If you don't know the F chord, as I zoom in here a little bit, it's basically like an E chord, except sliding up 1 fret and then completely laying your first finger across all the strings to bar it. This can be really hard, and I get that, but I'm going to walk through it and I'll give you an alternative. So you bar your first finger across. So we're going to say our second finger on the G string, second fret. Then we're going to put our pinky on the D string, third fret. Then we're going to put our third finger on the A string, third fret. And then we're going to completely lay our finger across the other strings to bar them. Now, it's a more advanced chord, intermediate line. But if you can do that, great. If you can't, practice, and you don't want to lay it like across the whole front part of your finger. What you want to do is kind of lay it more along the side of your finger, kind of like right in here. Right in here. You can see the marks on my finger a little bit. Okay, they're not all dead center, just falling straight in the middle of the line. You see how they're kind of more angled on the side of my finger, and that's where I'm barring them. Helps, because if I lay them completely flat, I'm just getting a lot of noise. But I slightly angle my finger a little bit. That is going to help, but bar chords are a whole nother breed. So if you can't play the bar chord, keep practicing. It'll come. It does. It just takes time. Guitar is more something that gets easier as you go. A lot of instruments have quick results. The guitar is something where you hit that wall, and you hit a wall later. The guitar is you hit a wall as soon as you start playing. And as you're going, the wall falls down and it gets easier. So stick with it. Okay, the alternative for the F chord is just barring your first finger, just barring on the first fret, the B and E string. You do have to bar those two. Then you take your second finger on the G string, second fret, and then you take your third finger on the D string, the fourth fret. Whoops. And you strum four strings down. So as we're doing that, fantastic. Now, what we're going to be doing is next, we're going to be, since last week we kind of talked about how to add a melody, we just got kind of introduced to the idea. I didn't really discuss how to dive into it and really get into it. I just wanted to expose you to the idea of like, hey, when there's a melody, play the chords you like. And, you know, we talked about play the right note. Play the chord, find the melody, and once you find the melody, here's how you kind of, when you start playing the fingerstyle, here's an idea of how it kind of starts to play in the middle. And I just introduced the idea. In this lesson, we're going to be diving into actually learning how to make this happen. So you got introduced to the concept. Hopefully throughout this week you've been practicing the chord and finding the melody. Now we're going to kind of learn how to really put those together and play them simultaneously. That's right, fingerstyle and the melody together. So level 2, right? And really before we get to level 2, we'll follow through the chords, but this is going to be level 2. And we'll kind of go through the chords a little bit easier for everybody to kind of get the chords in their hands for more of a beginner player. So let's walk through the chords, play the fingerstyle, the 3/4 time. I just think I call it like a variation of toada and 3/4 time. There's not really a particular name. At least I have not come across it. If you know what it is, put it in the comments below. I would love to know the terminology, but it was just kind of always toada and 3/4 for me. Sorry I'm stuffy. Baling hay for the last 2 weeks is grueling on my sinuses. All right. Especially in Texas in July. Everything's bigger and better in Texas, even the heat and pollen and everything else. So, all right, let's start with the C chord, and let's walk through the 3/4. Remember, play the root note. The C chord is the 5th chord, the 5th string, excuse me. Then we're going to go to A minor, which is going to be 5 strings down. Then we're going to go to the G chord. That little different way we talked about playing. Same G chord, just different finger positions. And then we're going to go to the F. Whether you can play the bar chord or whether you got to do the smaller one. No shame in any of that. Different ways to play them. And so let's look at right now. Let's walk through this. 1 and the fingerstyle. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and. Sorry, I played my pinky down. Let's go to the A minor. Comes the G. 1 and 2 and 3. F. C. Okay, so C, A minor, G, F. So when we're looking at these 4 chords, let's try to pick it up a little bit. I'm trying to remember. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I played 3 of each chord. We need to play 4 times each chord. I apologize, I wasn't specific on that. Live stream, live music, what do you do? Wow, okay, hey bailing. Wow, it's not for weenies. All right, so let's look at 4 rhythms of each chord of the toada and 3/4 time. And so let's play that. Starting the C. Let's take it up just a little bit faster. 4 times each rhythm, and then we'll change chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1. A minor. G. F. C. Okay, so it's working like that. I think I missed some of those chords. Sorry about that. I'm a homeschooler. Math. All right. And the speed you're wanting to build it up to, you're wanting to transition to, is going to be something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's the speed you want to work up to and build up to. And but remember, play clean, accurate. If your top speed is then play, and if your top speed is do it. Absolutely do it. But clean, don't rush it. Smooth, all this kind of stuff, guys. It's so important. Don't get ahead of yourself, start tripping. You want to play clean, and the speed will come. Don't get the speed and don't get the technique and the clarity. And you'll be like me, having to go back to play basics 10 years later. And you won't be able to get past to play the harder stuff as you go further down this road. So let's kind of begin to start to add a melody. Okay, so we've got our chords, we've got our fingerstyle. Now, what is the melody and where is it? So we're going to be looking at this a little bit. Our melody is going to be, this is going to be the melody. Which is a simple melody here. Tricky to play, but a simple melody. It's on the 3rd fret of the high E. Then it goes to the 1st fret of the high E. Then it goes to the open E string. And then you go to your B string 3rd fret. So it's all on those 2 strings. And we're just walking down. Like, that's absolutely it. So, as my phone vibrates, let's look at how to apply that with the C chord, okay? So, we got our C chord, we've got our fingerstyle. We're going to start with our pinky on that fingerstyle and the root note, right? We're just finding the melody with the chord at first. That's all we're doing. Just like we talked about in the last lesson, same concept, and then we'll dive into the last step, which I didn't get too in detail. I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. Get ahead of myself for the week, is how to put that really together. I gave you the concept last week. Now we're diving into how to do that exactly. So, find the melody. Put our pinky down on that high E, 3rd fret. The next time, here you have to really you're going to have to like bar your finger down to play that, because you put your C up, and it's going to have to drop. You could technically just move your finger if you want and move it down, but it's going to sound it's not going to sound as crisp, but you can do it. Barring is going to make it sound a little bit better when you drop it. Good grief. Okay, and yeah, I know, I've got hay with my nose wreaking havoc, but you guys still need a lesson, so just got to push through. You can do that, but it's going to sound like, for example, I'll play the melody and you can hear the difference. I'll bar it, lay my finger down, or I'll move my finger around, barring. And then here's moving my finger, not barring it. I think it just doesn't sound as crisp, but you can do it. You hear that? not wrong. Creates that C major 7 feel. And it's not wrong. I just don't quite, it's not just as smooth and suave what we're going for. So barring, you can do it without the bar, but the barring does make it more clean. And it's going to work with more people you start stacking on when you're playing. You don't have to be quite as precise and particular what you're all doing. So let's look at this. Okay, so bar that finger, right? So pinky, bar, lay that finger down across those 2 strings, raise it back up, so it's barred, and raise it up, play that that open E string. So I can kind of change the angle a little bit, get a little closer. That'll work a little bit better. Pinky, bar, raise it back up, and then you'll take your pinky on that 3rd fret of the B string. So let's try that again. That's the melody. A little tricky, a lot tricky. Then bar it down, raise it up, get that open E, and put your pinky down right there. Fantastic. Okay, let's do this really slow, and let's try to play that 1 chord. The great thing is the melody stays the same in all the chords. So you learn the melody for 1 chord, you learn them from all. It's just adjusting a little bit for each chord. There's not a lot of movement, and it's meant to be that way for the first time. So 1 and 2 and ready, go. And 2 and 3 and 4 and, is that right? Okay. So you gotta do this 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and, if I could count right. Let's try it again. Homeschooler math. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, right. Okay, now we're going to the A minor. New chord, right? But the same thing. Your pinky is still playing that. Your finger still drops to bar. And play that note, it still raises up to play that open E right there, right? And then your pinky still goes there on the 3rd fret of the B string. It's the same thing, same hand positions. You're just playing a different chord. Isn't that nice? Oh, beautiful. So we're kind of playing that A minor 7 right there. So let's try it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1, 2 and 3 and, same thing. So the C and A minor, same melody, same hand positions, just a different chord. So that's great. Feel a little overwhelmed yet? Playing that first song is always the hardest. Once you get through one song, it all starts to make sense. So just keep pushing, take it slow, and get that clarity. You're doing good. Very good. Don't sweat it. This ain't easy. This is a higher level. We're getting to the top tier in this lesson. All right. And if this is easy for you, sit tight. You'll keep on going. Now let's go to the G chord. Remember when I said that different G position that we talked about earlier with our third on the top, third finger on the top, second finger on the A string, and our pinky on the high E, the 3rd fret. Because this finger down here is going to have to play the melody over here. So when we do that, we play that melody. Great thing with the G chord is we don't have to move it anywhere because our pinky's already there on the melody. Right? Well, when we go to play that 1st fret of the high E, we have to let off our pinky as the clock goes. I'll wait for that to clear. So when you do that, right? And then there's a fly in my face, or a gnat, something. And then you're going to have to let off that finger to play that open string. So and then you got to put your pinky on that B string on the 3rd fret, right? 3rd fret, B string, 2nd string, 3rd fret, yeah. So cool stuff. Okay. So let's play that G chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Great, right? Cool stuff. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 3. Perfect. Okay. Now the F chord. This might get a little tricky. If you bar it, we're not playing the melody, so we got to take our pinky off that finger and play it down there on that 3rd fret of the high E. Right? Then you gotta let off. Can you play that? Oh, you know what? I had a brain fart moment. Best part about the F chord. What is it? Best part is you don't have to play the melody because all that is this when you go, because we're playing the C, the A minor, the G, and on the F chord, we just end on a C. So all you're literally doing is playing that melody right there on the B string on the 1st fret, and you're already barring it. So all you gotta do is, isn't that simple? B string, 1st fret, and the chord's already playing it. Same thing if you're doing the smaller bar. You're already playing it right there. You're already barring it right there on that. So just play it, the melody. Oops. Let's play them all together. Starting with the C. You ready for the whole thing? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go. Oh, that's bad counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and right thing. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and I play the right notes. Let's try that again. Let me play the right notes. 1 and 2 and 3. 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 is that B string. That's it. That's the melody. So full speed is what you're aiming for. Live music. Sorry, Valen's been rough on my hands. They're so tight. Ah. Alrighty. We're going to look at kind of how to put that together. Balin and playing guitar is not a great combo. Hands just start to get hurting. Okay. Let's look at how to put the fingerstyle and the melody together, because that's what I didn't really get into. I kind of introduced it and I went really fast because I just wanted the concept to be there of play the chord, find the melody, and then kind of start to pick to get an idea. But this week we're learning how to put those together. And so when we look at this, we're doing our rhythm, right? Now I need to make sure this hand is in view. When we play our thumb, that's what's great. The melody will be played only when you strike the thumb. So the first note on 1, the melody is going to be played every time. 1, 3 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 1. It's always on 1. So your thumb is going to play with the melody. So that's honestly a great way to practice, is taking your, let's walk through it because sometimes it changes. Yeah, that's best to do that. So taking your P and your A, those are going to be responsible for the melody. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's walk through this. P and A. If you don't know the fingerings, look in the previous lessons. You'll find them there. Your P, I, M, A, thumb, index, middle, ring. Index and middle are easy. Your ring is your A. And they're going to be designated most times, like we talked about, to those 3 strings right there. It's how it's pretty much going to stay. We'll switch around a little bit. So let's try to play this melody a little bit here. Let's pick at it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 3, and. And that part is the part that's going to change when we do that line. So it's going to be like your A, M. You hear that? A, M. That's what we're going to really stick with. A, M on your fingers. Because my fingers are staying put. A, M. Striking with my thumb each time for the melody, right? They're going to play together. Oh. So my fingers aren't moving. So, get a little tricky. Hang in there. And if it's easy, sit tight. It's getting harder. So, I'm going to do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1. Comes that M. Right? P, A, P, A, P, A, P, M. And we play those finger styles together, slowly. Play the P and the A, and then go through the finger style. P and A, play the finger style. P and A, play the finger style. P and M, play the finger style. So you kind of see how we put those together. P, A, P, A, P, A, P, A, P, A. Yeah, so when you play it, P, A, finger style. Just walking down. P, A, walk it down. P, A, walk it down. P, M, if I translate, I'm bilingual, guys. I'm sorry, English is not my first language. Walk it down. It's very hard to play, but it's a simple concept. It's just trying to figure out what fingers are going where. You're playing guitar and the singer's part, the melody at the same time. It's difficult. You're doing two things at once. That's why your brains can be cramping up a lot of times with this. But let's do that. 1, 2, 3. P, A, finger style. P, A, finger style. P, A, finger style. P, M, finger style. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, If you know that concept, P, A, P, A, P, A, P, A, P, M. Thumb ring, thumb ring, thumb ring, thumb middle. If you practice that, I promise the finger style is going to come. And then when you get that down, walk down. Fantastic. That's it. That's all you have to do. And because it goes the same. Now when we go to the A minor chord, we're going to kind of stay with the one chord because I'm wanting to focus on the pattern and not get the chords all changed in here. But when you do that, let's go to the let's go to the A minor. We're going to go there right now. Get your A minor ready to go. P, A, finger style. P, A. Remember, the fingering is exactly the same for this. P, A, finger style. We're just playing different chord. P, M, finger style. Right? Now we go to the G. Play that G chord variation, right? P, A, finger style. P, A, fingerstyle, PA. What would we do there? I got to put our pinky back down. That makes no. Yeah, you just gotta leave it open. I'm sorry, guys. PA, fingerstyle, PA. Lay that finger down. Fingerstyle, open, PA, fingerstyle, pinky, PM, fingerstyle, right? And then you end on that F chord. Just playing your thumb and your M. Thumb and M. It does change on the F, thumb M. Because we're just wanting to resolve the melody. P and M. Okay. Let's play it up to speed. We're going to go all the way through. Ready? 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and ready. We can count 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 2, And something that sounds a little bit prettier to me when I do this on that F chord, if I play them a little higher. So if I take my 3 strings that I'm playing on, the G, the B, and the E, the traditional standard, and if I move them all up a string, so I'm now playing the D, the G, and the B. So then I still would be playing, yeah, the root, the D, the G, and the B. So I'm just moving those 3 fingers each up 1 string. And what that entails is it kind of resolves the melody a little bit more for me. Instead of it being like this, it kind of goes, it's just lower. I think it sounds nicer, and it works for me like that. And then you would only have to play P and A. PA, fingerstyle, PA, fingerstyle. It's really cool. Let's try it again. A little bit faster. You got it. I believe in you. So let's do this. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and my bad. Again. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. It sounds pretty. I promise not to bail next week, so my hands will be smooth and not miss the notes for you guys. The speed you're trying to build up to, that's pretty close to the top speed. When you do it up to speed, it's going to be like... That's the concept of putting the chords, the fingerstyle, and the melody together. That is not easy to do, and but that's what you're striving for. Pick your chord. Once you pick your chord, what's best for you, find the melody. We talked about that last week. Then once you get the chord and the melody picked out, start to put the fingerstyle in together. And that's how you do it. Something difficult, but I tried to find a piece that I was making to do as simple as possible to do this. Is very similar how I learned to do this. You can learn to do this very, very easily and very similar, almost to a T, with How He Loves. If you want to go listen to that song, there's so many people out there that do that song. David Crowder, best one out there. And go take a peek at that if you get this, and go learn that one. That was like the first song I learned to play something like this with, which was amazing. So it's just it's absolutely pretty to play. When you do that. I can do one measure without getting sued. Oh. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, sorry. Right? David Carr, if you're watching, hook me up. I would love to play with you. That'd be so cool. It's like you're amazing. Oh my gosh, I love your testimony and everything. It's an encouragement to me. Now, learn those songs. Go practice this. The exercise for the day is really, really simple. And then we're done for the day. All it is take the chords Maybe we've gone through the A, the D, and the E7, right? And the objective is to go changing chord positions as quickly as you can. Now, if you can do that, whatever your speed is, play that. But if you can go, do that. It's going to teach you to get the fingers moving, and for your hands not to get just overwhelmed when you're changing chords. If you know the G, D, and C, which we've learned, right? Take those. Either do it with the A, D, and E7, or then go and take it with the G, C, and D, and swap around. Right? The A. Keep it clean. Like I'm not doing baling hay. Cool. Hey, give me a hard time. You think it's easy. Go bale hay and then try to play guitar. See what happens. There can't be very many guitarists out there that bale hay and play guitar. All right. Then go do it for 2 weeks and then come back and then make fun of me if you can do it. Okay. I think that's it for the day, guys. If you haven't already, go download that free ebook. You can get it free for a limited time. And if you want more in-depth lessons, then go check out my website for tons of free stuff, Joseph Allen Music. Please give it, watch some videos. There's some great stuff on there, tons of free stuff, not just paid stuff. And if you want to do some more in-depth lessons, sign up in my academy. I would absolutely love to have you. And so we'll see you here same time next week, Friday at 7 o'clock, and we'll do our 5th week lesson, this week number 4. So of our 6-week fingerstyle course, whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, here trying to give some more cooler stuff for you. And as we keep moving along, it keeps getting harder. So, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you've had a blessed week. I hope the Lord's taking care of you. We had our baler break this week, and that's why we've been baling. Doesn't baling hay normally take 2 days? Well, it does when your baler works. But when it's broken, but the Lord was still good to us in the midst of all those things. He still provides for you. He's been doing so much amazing stuff, guys, whether it's giving shade when we're doing this, because we're bringing it in by hand. And the Lord's had so many blessings through the week and taking care of us. And it's absolutely a blessing. That's what I read a passage in Scripture. And we did manage to get in, before the baler broke, all the best hay was already made and stored before the baler broke. And it was way more than what we normally get. So it's just cool to see how the Lord gave us, even though, didn't get all of it in. We're still going to be using some for compost in the garden, which is also a blessing that we need too. So the Lord may know that as well. But seeing how, the Lord managed to get all the good hay in, and because our baler broke, we went ahead and brought the square bills in. And before, right as we were bringing them in, it started to rain, which if you do farming in square bills, the rain ruins your square bills. So the Lord took care of us in that regard, and we got all the good hay in, and none of it got wet and ruined. And we've been bringing a good majority of the rest in by hand. If you haven't know how to do that, go look at some Amish videos. You can windrow it, take a hay fork in your windrow, and you just start running. It piles up, and you're running with it. It's the hardest day I ever had to work in my life, but we did it. But all of our hay is good, and we're bringing it home. And the Lord takes care of you. I read a verse in Psalms that morning when we were going to have to do that all by hand. And it was, I read the Psalms, and it said, though you face trial, adversity, persevere, for the Lord's going to deliver you and take care of you. And I remember asking, I was just relieved. I was like, okay, you're gonna do this. And I remember asking, I was like, Lord, does that mean the perseverance over? Because we've already gone through a lot, and this is the day of deliverance. But sometimes when you walk up to that mountain and the Lord moves the mountain and you walk through, and sometimes you walk up to that mountain and the Lord's still with you like he was, but you walk up it together. And either way, blessed be the name of the Lord, and the Lord's taking care of us. So how is the Lord taking care of you this week? I know he has. Maybe you want to post in the comments what God's done for you this week. That would be something cool to see. If you can't think of something the Lord's done for you this week, you're not paying attention. That's what I had someone tell me, and it's absolutely right. So, can't complain. Don't complain. And see what the Lord's done for you this week and the blessings he gives you in the simplest of small things, even through adversity. And stay in his steps, guys, and continue to honor and serve him and live for him each day as if you're last. Keep practicing. Keep it up. And we'll see you in the next lesson. God bless everybody.